up this morning with my mind, oh, stayed on spirit. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Walking and talking, oh, walking and talking with my mind, stayed on spirit. Oh, walking and talking with my mind, stayed on spirit. Oh, walking and talking with my mind, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Woke up this morning. I woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on spirit. Oh, woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, yeah.
Andy Anderson is in the house. Oh my goodness, the energy in this room, lots going on today. Hi, everybody. Woo. Just so you know, it's not usually this hard to find a parking space. There is a volleyball tournament going on at the school over there. So
That's what's going on.
I got here at 9:05 and thought, am I late? Anyway, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley in partnership with Medford Unity. I'm Reverend Kimberly Hawkins. I am the co-spiritual director here for one more day, and then I'll be the spiritual director. We are celebrating our beloved Reverend Michelle's new job as the executive director of our entire denomination. So we're very proud of her. Today's also New Member Sunday, and we have a wonderful workshop afterwards, so you'll hear about all of that later. But if it's your first time here, I'd love for you to raise your hand just so we can give you a little love. Anybody here for the very first time? Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. I hope you'll join us afterwards for some food, potluck brunch in the social hall. We are an inclusive, progressive spiritual community, and we welcome you no matter where you may happen to be on your own personal spiritual journey. I'm going to invite you right now to turn off your cell phones, please. And I'm going to invite us all to take a deep breath. Some of us were in the lovely meditation that Reverend Bonnie did this morning, but for some of us, maybe it's the first deep breath we've had all week. So let's just breathe in, breathe out. And before we go into that meditative song, Andy, I've got a few more people I need to introduce. Our pulpit practitioner this morning is Laura Stewart. Reverend Bonnie Anderson is holding high watch. She's praying throughout the service for the highest and best unfoldment of everybody. Our, I think Ellen is our usher, and who's your partner, Ellen? Sue Van Hoos, and our video crew in the back, Jason Rummel is back, at least attending. Love to see you, Jason. Ben Rummel, Bill Miner, and is it Connie? Yeah, and then Tom Frederick on sound. So really important people that allow us to live stream, and welcome everybody on the live stream. So now, deep breath as we turn it over to Andy to prepare us for our invocation and reading.
I forget sometimes I know how to love, release, and let go. I'd get confused, can't see clear, don't know how. I sometimes lose my way. But then I'll open up my eyes and let the love inside begin to shine. Then I recover, I rediscover, I find myself. I'm alive with the Spirit flowing through me now. I am love, I am joy, I am beautiful, I am healed. And oh, when I know the power of my word that makes it so. I recover, I rediscover, I find myself. There's only one life, that life is divine, and that's me. Oh, when I wake up to what's possible, I will allow myself to be free. And oh, I can see clearly now. All the joy and the beauty of life is mine. If I just believe, if I just believe, oh, Spirit's all there is. Oh, trust the universe and know that Spirit is all there is. Spirit is all there is. Spirit is all there is. Oh, I'm so glad I know that I know. Spirit is all there is. Spirit is all there is. Let it be in me as me. I claim my happiness. I am free. Then I recover, I rediscover, and then I know. I find myself. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Namaste.
Oh my goodness. That was so grounding, so centering. Thank you, Andy. You know what? Today is absolutely perfect. It couldn't be any better than it is right now, because each and every one of you are here. Not only that, but you found parking. So I applaud you for your perseverance. And we've got a dog in the house, and we have new people and new members that we're welcoming in as we say goodbye for now to our beloved Reverend Michelle. The day just couldn't get any better. So I know that right here and right now, everything is exactly divinely the way it's meant to be. And when we relax into that conscious awareness that right here and right now, God is all there is a peace that fills our essence, our soul. It sinks into us, and we live from that. We hear that still small voice saying, "Be still and know that I am God." And quite honestly, there's nothing else that needs to be said aside from that. So I simply bless our time together, just celebrating the magnificence of this moment and this day, the magnificence of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And now we are going to put some good energy onto this wonderful lighter of ours as we... We light our peace candle, recognizing that still peace within each and every one of us. As we align with it, it radiates out from each and every one of us, out into the congregation, out into the community, out into the world at large. I know that as we light this flame of peace, we allow ourselves to feel God's peace and love deeply within each and every one of us. I invite you to move into a brief moment of silence as we simply rest in and acknowledge that peace within us. Today's reading was hand-selected by Reverend Kimberly as it ties into her talk today. And it comes from the 40-day Mind Fast Soul Feast by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. Throughout this day, be courageous enough to not turn on your television or to participate in any outer distractions until you make contact with Spirit first. Be willing to say, I'm not moving from this place until contact is made. When Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, he refused to move until the ultimate reality was revealed to him. And that transformation and that shift in consciousness took place, elevating him to that place of enlightenment. The Christian mystic, Meister Eckhart, said, "The eyes with which I see God are the eyes which God sees me through." When you set your intention to be serious about your God self will become serious about you. Now that's something to think about. Mystical secrets will reveal themselves to you. And what are those secrets? I think most of you already know. That you are now, always have been, and always will be, from the beginning of time and to the end of your being, here on earth, in this planetary realm, unenlightened being. It is who you are. Awaken now to that realization. Brother Lawrence, a humble monk, lived in the world as only he and God existed. That's something else to think about. What would life be like if we did that? He performed every activity in conscious awareness of spirit. There was no separation between his prayer time, meditation time, his business life, his social life. All time was time with God. It was all one worshipful action of divine love. What an exquisite and spiritually successful way to live. Today, I invite you to determine to practice spiritual discipline, which means deliberately setting aside time to cultivate your relationship with Spirit in meditation and in prayer. Once you form this habit, I guarantee you, you will never miss an appointment with God. And so it is.
So it is. myself just the way I am. I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a new paradigm, let myself grow and grow. There's only one life, that life is divine. I know it, I claim it, it's mine. I let myself see it starts with me. It's perfection that I am. When I see the truth, know the truth, be the truth as me, I release and let go, give love and know. When I love myself just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. And when I decide to change my mind, get a new paradigm, and let my love grow and grow. When I know the truth, it has to produce the results I'm looking for. It's done unto me as I believe. Possibilities all I see. When I see the best, know the best, be the best I can be, then I know that I know that I know that I know that I know. When I love myself just the way I am, I can free my power wherever I am. At any time I can redefine, get a new paradigm, let myself grow and grow. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Let's sing it together. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Let's sing it one more time. Oh, be still and know that I am God. Yeah. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Andy put together that medley for us. Thank you. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So I look out and we're about bursting from the seams. Isn't that great? If this keeps up, we'll go to 2 services, no props, right? And we've got kids in there, yay. Be still and know. One of my favorite verses from Psalms 46, be still and know that I am God. Last weekend, I had a powerful, powerful personal experience of stillness. My partner Eric and I were invited to enjoy 3 days at Wilbur Hot Springs in Northern California in exchange for presenting 4 meditations over the course of the weekend. Now, I was forewarned that we would be completely off grid for our whole stay. There is no cell phone service there, no internet connection. In fact, electronic devices aren't allowed on parts of the property near the baths because silence is observed, no dinging of texts. Wow. So I was prepared. But as we approached, you exit the freeway. By the way, Wilbur is north of Santa Rosa, inland, out in the boonies. You know, it's a little bit of a journey to get there after you leave the freeway. And the last 6 miles toward the entryway to the property is gravel road. I was driving. I made him drive on the way out. And the road had been flooded. There was a big storm the day before we got there, so there was washboard bumps and ruts, and we finally made it to the gate that you open, which demarcates the official entry to the 1,800 acres that is, most of it is nature preserve. And as soon as you pass the gate, there's a prominent sign that says, "Time to slow down." There are rustic speed limit signs on the last stretch of that road, and they say, "Wilbur speed, 10 miles an hour." Now you add to that the fact that you're soaking 2-3 times a day in these natural hot springs that are filled with lithium, ring a bell, has been used as an antidepressant, right? And all kinds of other delicious minerals. There's a smell attached, and I was still recovering from COVID, leftover symptoms, so it was kind of a blessing that my smeller wasn't completely online yet. But you get used to it. It's lovely because it invokes that relaxed state. Now remember, we went there to lead meditations. So not only are we in the boonies, completely unplugged, but we're doing 2 meditations Saturday, 2 meditations Sunday. They say that lithium is relaxing. Some people report that they feel a mild state of euphoria. And I got to tell you, even the first night there, after soaking twice, I don't know that I've ever felt such a deep state of relaxation. It was simply amazing, and it only got better as the weekend went on. Now, our theme for our meditations was the same for our theme here at CSLRV for the month of January. Because it's a new year, release, receive, renew. And then the 4th meditation, we added rest, as if that was really necessary, right? I wanted to do a burning bowl ceremony like we did here the first Sunday in January, but I learned that matches, candles, incense, no fire of any kind is allowed there because of the danger of forest fires. Back in 2014, when the hotel was 99 years old, it burned down during the birthday party, the 75th birthday party of the owner. And they managed to restore the bottom floor, clean it, and it's lovely. But the top 2 stories were never rebuilt. So Wilbur itself, the property itself, has become a symbol for renewal. It was released from its former form and rebuilt, and it's just a very magical place. By the way, instead of doing the burning bowl ceremony, I used dissolving paper, which worked out just fine. The connections people made, without the distractions of devices, when you spoke with somebody, you made eye contact. I could see their light. They were present, and so was I. It was just a wonderful feeling. We were very appreciated. People were really conscious, and the meditations were just wonderful. I was a little disappointed, couldn't do music. I love to do music with meditations. Our meditations were up on the yoga deck, and there were no outlets. But what I learned, yeah, I know, we're so dependent, right? No outlets. What do you mean? There are no outlets in the hotel rooms. There are lights, but you cannot plug in anything, which was a little bit of a problem for me as I prepared to go there. What do you mean I can't bring my hairdryer? Or my curling iron? And you're soaking, so you're wet. I got over that. But the beauty of doing the meditations in the yoga deck, which was up over the creek, was when you got quiet, instead of music, you heard the music of the rushing creek below, of the wind going through the oak trees, and it was unbelievable, unbelievably beautiful. So receiving, I want to talk today, we've talked, Rev Michelle started to talk about receiving last week when she talked about it's a new day. We receive a chance each day when we wake up, not only each brand new year, to receive new opportunities to make changes and allow good to come into our lives. But I want to talk more about receiving today because that was really what this weekend was all about. I had many insights. I bet that doesn't come as a surprise to you during this time of stillness. The biggest insight I had, the biggest aha was just how attached I am to my cell phone. Anyone else? No, nobody, right? I mean, how did we manage 35 years ago or so when we couldn't email anyone we wanted at any time, night or day, no matter where we were? How did we not be able to text somebody and get an immediate answer, right? Or have the ability to check the local weather and the forecast instead of just walking outside and seeing, right? It's crazy. It is crazy. So I think most importantly, I began to ask, what toll has the omnipresence of my cell phone taken on my ability to connect with true omnipresence? Be still and know that I am God. Back home during the week, I struggled a bit. My roommate, Vivian, is on vacation, and I sat at breakfast with no one to talk to, and I found myself one day grabbing my phone as I ate my breakfast instead of just sitting and eating, because I like to play Wordle every morning. Anybody else a Wordle fan? A few? And I felt a little embarrassed about that, but oh well. So among other things, because we were doing these meditations, I did receive clarity even more about my intentions. And Reverend Stephanie is going to do a gorgeous, powerful workshop for those of you who would still like to clarify, what do you want to experience this year? So I was grateful to have had that experience. So for now, I would like to talk with you about three things, three lessons, if you will, that I've taken from being unplugged, quiet, simple, relaxed weekend at Wilbur. Number one, I'll call a retro culture. Number two, remember the Sabbath. And number three, the bears. So I know some of you are retired, and perhaps you're already practicing being unplugged more than I, although a lot of people I know who are retired are busier than ever and still plugged in. What I'm going to suggest is that we create a retro culture. Let's take a few steps back from this incredible addiction most of us have developed to our devices. Even in meditation, I'm not blaming anybody because it could have been any of us, but I don't think we've gotten through a meditation in there without a ding, And we don't need our phones. We don't need them when we come to church, but, we're attached, right? Oh my. And I think perhaps in my role as a minister, I've felt more responsible about, if somebody's in need, I want to get back to them right away. So that's part of what has caused my addiction, one of the reasons. But I'm wondering if we could create a culture where we don't expect a response right away unless it is an emergency, where we don't feel like we have to check and be on top and responding right away, and just able to take a breath, able to put the phone away, for gosh sakes. I'd like to create a new etiquette, because I think somehow unconsciously we have this etiquette that I texted you, didn't you get it? Or haven't you checked your email today? I just think we need to shift. I really do. And where we can focus uninterrupted on our interactions with people like we did at Wilbur. It was such a beautiful exchange and connection. So how about a permanent vacation for our untethered attention to emerge, not being distracted by a ding of a text or a ring or an instant message? What if we took frequent breaks and walked outside, experienced the temperature instead of checking the phone? I don't think this is an easy shift because, like somebody who has a food addiction, and most of us have some form of food addiction, I think, you can't go cold turkey. Most of us can't. We need our devices. But with some conscious intention setting, I think we can make this shift. I know people who have managed this in different ways. Reverend Dr. Linda Rapond, one of our ministers, you may be aware, does a day of silence on Monday. She does not answer her phone, does not answer her email. If she should go out to a restaurant, which she probably doesn't most of the time, she wears a sign that says, "In silence." Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I know another couple of ministers who set aside a Sabbath, and on their cell phone message it says, we take our Sabbath day, whatever day it was, don't expect us to get back to you until. So they set up that expectation, which I think is probably helpful. I talked to a good buddy of mine, Reverend Stephen Rambo, who I went to ministerial school with, and he says, I can't always do a whole day, but I can do part of a day, and I wake up in gratitude. I focus on that. If I have to do work, I do it with an attitude of gratitude. I do it with I get to, not I have to. And so he's shaped his Sabbath. In fact, he shaped it so that he gets, and then he said, if I go into a place of business, I make sure to make eye contact with the person behind the counter. I notice their name. It reminded me of what happened at Wilver. Beautiful, beautiful experience. Instead of, you get up to the checkout and your phone rings, or people sometimes answer it, or, And again, no blame here. It's our whole culture has created this. And Laura Stewart made the comment that our electronics move faster than we do. There's a wonderful story about an American businessman who wanted to climb Mount Everest. And so there's a narrow window when you can do that in the spring because of the weather. And he had to take advantage of the end of the narrow window because of his business obligations. But he hired a guide. He assembled a crew of Sherpas, native people who were used to the high altitudes and could carry all the supplies. And he told them up front there was a storm coming to add to everything else that was going on. He said, we're going to make more distance each day than we even planned. So the first 3 days of the expedition, they did great. They made great progress, going all gung-ho. The fourth day, he got up and he looked around, and none of the Sherpas were preparing to depart. And it's like, what gives here? What's going on? We got to go. If you need more money, I'm glad to pay you more money. And the guide said, nope, they're not moving today. And it was a nice day. The weather was perfect for climbing. And so the businessman went over to the Sherpas and said, hey, what gives here? And in broken English, they basically explained to him that they were not going anywhere. They needed to wait for their souls to catch up with their bodies. How many of us have times when our souls are way behind and we have left them in the dust? Love that story. He wanted to check it off his bucket list, climbed Mount Everest. Oh, goodness. So then there's remember the Sabbath. That's one of the 10 Commandments, Remember the Sabbath to make it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. Now, there are many ways to keep Sabbath. I don't believe in my belief system that it has to be Sunday or it has to be Saturday, as Jewish people, celebrate. Perhaps our work schedule or our family commitments or whatever our life calls us to do, maybe there's a different day. But what a beautiful concept to remember a Sabbath and keep it holy. A whole day is great. It could be a half day. It could be just mini vacations, where we meditate or take a breath. But I'm thinking I'm going to do a day of silence, like Linda does. I think it's good for the soul. It allows our soul to catch up. So much healing, when we do that. We get clarity, we get peace of mind, we experience oneness with all that is, with nature, without our tablets and phones, or rather than oneness with our tablets and phones. Yeah. And finally, the third point, the bears. What are the bears doing in the winter? Hibernating. And I think if we stay in tune with the cycles of nature, this is a time in the winter when we can naturally slow down. I don't know about you, but with all this darkness, I'm sleeping more. And boy, it's been wonderful. I don't wake up as early. I go to bed earlier. And isn't that kind of a natural, replenishing way to live in tune with nature? Remember the Sabbath and remember the bears. You know, even Jesus the Bible says constantly he went apart for a while. He went alone. He went to the mountain to pray, to just be still. We all need that. And I think in the winter, probably even more than any other season of the year. Jesus connecting with Abba, his Father, and our connecting with God and with our soul. Buddha, too, sat in meditation for 49 days under the Bodhi tree before he got enlightened. Right? Be still and know. Lily Tomlin had this bit of advice. She's so funny. For fast-acting relief, try slowing down. Silent time is so very healing. If you live alone, perhaps you feel like you have maybe too much silent time, but I would suggest that silent time by itself isn't necessary healing. It has to be consciously observed. I'm remembering again that my friend Rev Steve Rambo said he practices what he calls awarefulness. Not mindfulness, because he said, I want to get out of the mind, but awarefulness of everything, people, nature, everything. This is beautiful, so rejuvenating. Rumi, the Sufi poet, said, listen to the silence. It has so much to say. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. According to the Hindu sage Ramana Maharshi, silence is also a conversation. A conversation with our higher self, our inner wisdom, and also with the still small voice. Well, the still small voice within, and also spirit all around, that conscious, unified field, if you will. Silence is a conversation. I think this idea of be still and know works. Be still and know that I am God. I think it works two ways. When we're still, we sense and we're aware of omnipresence. We're aware of that transcendent love intelligence that permeates all of creation and is around us. And we also know that we are part of God. If God is all there is, what are we made of? There's nothing else to be made from. I love what beloved Roger Teal from Mile High Church said in his book, This Life is Joy. He said, you are so much more than a material, time-space organism. You are the I am, a being of light, born from, living within, and giving expression to universal love intelligence. Breathe that one in. And from our founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, in our textbook, the search for union passes into the realization not that we are just with or in, but that we are of God. One with or in implies separation. The great realization is that we are of that which is, we are some part of it. The Hebrew word for still is rapha, which means to sink down, relax, let go, cease striving, or withdraw. That's a whole lot more than just be still, isn't it? So I think our time to slow down can include all those practices. Let me read those again. Sink down, relax, let go, cease striving, withdraw. And finally, this from Ralph Waldo Emerson. I like the silent church before the service begins better than any preaching. Oops. So what I'd like to do for the end of my message this morning is a brief meditation. So I'm going to have Andy just give us a little background. I have used this phrase, be still and know that I am God, as a beautiful meditation tool for years. So we're going to take it, and you can say it silently in your own head, and then we're going to drop off little phrases of it. So let's go within. Closing eyes if you're comfortable. Taking a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Being aware of your body in the chair. Any part of your body feeling tense, breathe into that place and just release that tension. Imagine you're breathing it out on your out breath. And repeating silently to yourself now. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Receiving another deep breath. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still. Be still. And finally, be. Just be. Receiving one more deep breath and letting it go. Beginning to softly bring your attention back to the outer world. Knowing even this practice can be used as a mini Sabbath anytime you wish. So this week I encourage us all, including me, to think about creating a retro culture, unplugged as much as possible, to remember the Sabbath, to pick a holy time where we can allow our souls to catch up with our bodies, and finally, to honor nature like the bears and rest. Rest is a good thing. Our culture can get so involved with doing. Let's just take time to be. Rather than going into prayer, which is what I would normally do right now, we have a few new members to welcome, and I need to grab my folder. I've been blessed, so blessed to be in this spiritual community. It has helped me through my own times of fear and doubt and over busyness. I am renewed when I come in here on Sunday, no matter how my night's sleep has been or whatever. I receive truly as much from all of you as I hope you receive from me. And I also feel my spiritual community helps to challenge me to rise to new levels of faith and trust in spirit, to have the courage and commitment to be the one I came here to be. And I hope that you find the same gift in being in community. For some of us, when we find a place that supports us in remembering the truth of who we are, we're drawn to make a commitment, a choice to claim that place as our official spiritual home. And of course, everyone's welcome, whether or not you ever do that. But today we celebrate a handful of people who have found that place here at CSL Rogue Valley in partnership with Unity, who've chosen to make such a commitment. Those people are the new members that we welcome today. Some of them here, and 2 of them I think not, and that's fine. So I'm going to ask you all to come forward right now and maybe stand up here in front of everybody. Kim Bebo, Reverend Stephanie Clark, Genevieve Wolf, Wendy Rogers I don't think is here, and I know that Karen Jordan could not be here with us today. Each of you has made a choice to join as a member of CSL Rogue Valley. Each of you has seen and felt enough of the truth of oneness expressed here in this community to make a commitment to it and to yourself. The commitment you make is expressed in a covenant signed by a member of our board of directors. And I'm going to read that covenant right now because I think it's wonderful for all of us to hear this, as well as those who have recently signed this. I'm going to come down front so I can see your faces. So the covenant goes like this. I, and the name, do freely choose membership to the Center of Spiritual Living Rogue Valley. As a member, I am making a personal commitment to experience and express the grandest divine idea of myself and others, to participate in CSL Rogue Valley activities with a high level of ownership, to spend time in prayer and meditation for the highest good of this center, to practice the universal principles taught in religious science by applying them in my life to the best of my ability to do so. For the resolution, and this is an important one, I think, for all of us to remember, for the resolution of any conflict, because you know what? Spiritual communities have conflict too. We're human, right? And it's going to happen. But for the resolution of any conflict or challenge I may have with anyone or any issue in our CSLRV Unity community or elsewhere out in my life, I turn first to prayer and meditation. Secondly, to a practitioner or other spiritual support person. And thirdly, to speak with clarity and honesty only to the person or people involved. What does that cut out? Gossiping, right? Triangular communications. And finally, to support CSL Rogue Valley with time, treasure, and talent in a consistent, committed, identifiable way. Do you so agree to these commitments? We do. Thank you. Now, there's a second part of this whole thing, which is our commitment to you. So today is also my and our commitment to you to see the precious, not previous, that is a typo, the precious and awesome being you are, and to support you on your spiritual journey to know the truth for you, even when you forget. I believe this congregation is ready to make that commitment to you, to see each of you as the face of God. If you are, please join me in singing to them as I give them a little gift from us. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my face of God.
You are, I don't like the key. You are the face of God. I'll hold you in my heart. You are
Welcome,
a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I'll hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I'll hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face face of God. You are the face of God.
Now it's time for some applause. Thank you all so much. Wow. You know, we did the applause. It's kind of an awkward thing to pray after applause, but I'm going to pray anyway. Now let's just take a moment. My heart is so full today. I just feel that love, intelligence, embracing arms of the divine that are always waiting to attend, to supply, to guide, to soothe each one of us. Just as the story of the prodigal son tells us, when we take a step toward God's Spirit, it comes rushing towards us with open arms, embracing us, forgiving us, loving us, guiding us. We are never apart from that which Spirit is. And this community I treasure so much because it teaches each of us to remember that. We together help each of us know when we forget that we are indeed precious and awesome beings, emanations, unique expressions, precious expressions of that one infinite, eternal life. And so today I say a special blessing upon this community and everyone who is a part of it, either in and out or regular, I don't care. We all create this wonderful atmosphere, this love fest, if you will, recognizing the goodness, the divinity in each of us. A special blessing upon our new members and the children in the next room. A special blessing upon our board members, our new board members who will be running, our beloved Reverend Michelle, who will still be a member of this community, but will no longer be the co-spiritual director because she will be our CEO, our ED. And blessing each one in the seats. Thank you so much for coming. I give great gratitude for this opportunity to be together in worship. What is it Emerson said? An evolved soul is always a worshiper of God. So in gratitude for this day, for this community, I just release my word knowing, as always, this prayer is heard, it is answered, and we say together, and so it is. Amen, Andy Anderson. I think our offering is next, am I right? I've lost my order of service, okay. Such a busy day. So now it's time to offer our tithes and offerings. I want to remind you that we tithe 10% of what we collect on Sundays to different organizations that share our missions. So it's been Aura, Options to help residents of Ashland. We have helped Habitat for Humanity. We have helped the Conversation with God Foundation and Southern Poverty Law Center, who does great political action in this world for justice for all. So you can write a check to CSL or Medford Unity. There are envelopes if you want to put cash to either one. Let's say our affirmation together, if I can remember it. Hang on a second here. Too much going on. Graciously I give.
Graciously I give.
From a place of love.
Place of love.
Knowing that as I give.
Knowing that as I give.
So do I richly receive.
So do I richly receive.
So it is.
You are, I am so blessed.
You are too.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Are indeed so blessed. So before we break for our celebration of our new members, our goodbye, we love you party for Rev Michelle in Bosworth Hall next door, a few announcements. At 1 to 4 this afternoon, Reverend Stephanie Clark is doing an amazing workshop, and there's still time to come and join her. Steph, tell us about it, please.
Hi, everybody.
Oops, wait a minute, Tom. There you go.
Hello. I'm so excited about today. We've got so many people signed up already, and there's still some spaces left. And I want to let you know I'm giving a free gift. And the first 20 people will receive the free gift. If you're number 21, sorry. And this free gift will change your life. I promise it will change your life. So the free gift is all about changing our life this year. We're setting the intention for 2023. We're going to be visioning, we're going to be goal setting, we're going to be creating our year together. And you know how geese fly in formation and they help each other stay in the sky or stay in the formation. So that we're doing that together. We're the geese in the workshop, and we're helping each other. We're lifting each other up in spiritual community. So what you can do alone, you can do so much more with the support of all those other people in the workshop with you. So please sign up. My friend here, Laura Stewart, is going to be there taking your registrations at 1:45, and then we'll start the workshop at 1 o'clock.
And the cost?
Oh, sorry, the cost is $40 for an individual, and if you're here with a partner or a child and you want to do it together, then it's $60 for a couple. Have I said everything?
Beautiful.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much. And she's awesome, you can tell, right? You can tell. A couple other things in kind of chronological order. Next Sunday, the 22nd, CSL will be having our annual meeting after service. That's when we kind of review the year, answer any questions you might have, go over the finances, talk about what lies ahead. A lot of questions right now with Rev Michelle, on a new journey. We will also be electing 3 new board members, and their bios and pictures will be in this week's newsletter. Kim Bebo is one candidate, one of our new practitioners. And let's see, anybody else here that's a candidate? Kathy Green's already. Trying to think who they are. Ginny Nichols, who's in Hawaii right now. And can anybody help me? Who's the third? Can't remember. Check the newsletter. If you don't get the Morel, there she is. She's here. Morel Wyeth, yes. If you don't receive the newsletter, there's a way to sign up in our social hall. If you're new and you don't yet have a name tag and you'd like to have one, there's a sign-up sheet in the back corner there. It will make you a name tag. On the first Thursday afternoon in February, our practitioner Karen Jordan will be starting a 4-session class called Your Personal Sacred Mandala. She is an artist as well as a practitioner. And this, of course, mandalas are a sacred tradition, ancient tradition in many, many cultural and religious traditions. You're going to make your own. It's going to be going on from 1 to 2:30 Thursday afternoon here in the social hall, so there's a sign-up sheet for that. And then Reverend Bonnie Anderson will be teaching our Science of Mind Foundations class online. This is a 10-week class that absolutely guaranteed will change your life. Bonnie, tell us a little more.
It's a very exciting class, and it teaches the basics of science of mind, the real down and dirty basics that get us the joy that comes from studying this science of mind. If you're new to this teaching, it's a wonderful introduction. It's a prerequisite for many other classes. And if you're not new, I used to take it, every couple of years when I was a practitioner and even a minister, because it reminds you of the beauty and the power of this teaching. And it covers many different subjects. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's Thursday evenings on Zoom beginning February 9th, and the early bird price is until February 1st. Mm-hmm. So go online and check it out and sign up. I'd love to see you there.
Thank you, Bonnie. And actually, you save $50 if you sign up early. It's $175, normally $225. Incredible opportunity to connect with people and your source. So thank you, Bonnie. Let's see, and there's a sign-up sheet for that also in the social hall. I don't need this mic, sorry. You can sign up also online by going to donate, scroll down to classes, type in foundations, make your $50 deposit. Let's see. Be sure to check the newsletter and meet up for other things that are going on at both Unity and CSL. There's a prayer box in the back. If you submit your prayers, our whole ecclesiastical team will be praying for you. And that brings us to the thing I've kind of been putting off. Oh my goodness. After service, we do have a potluck celebration for both the new members and for Rev Michelle. This is her last official Sunday here in the role of spiritual director. I'm going to have her come up here in a minute, but I have got to say that this has been a fabulous ride for us for the last 9 months, however long it's been, 10. She is a light. She is ferocious in her spirit of transformation, but also her heart-connected love. And I know any of you who know her know that. I'm going to ruin the surprise, Michelle, and tell Bonnie, I think, we've been passing around a book. It's a guest book. And if you haven't had a chance to write, hold it up, Bonnie. If you haven't had a chance to write a little goodbye love note to Rev Michelle, please do so in the, that's what she'll take with us. Not that she's leaving us, but in her role. Yeah, she's leaking already. So we love you. Come on up and say a few words. Your swan song.
I'm going to stand next to you because you're my co-today still. Hi, everybody. I'm just so blessed to have been a part of this beautiful community and to co-minister with Rev Kimberly. We move about the world in a little bit different ways, and we really started working together to accent each other, and it was just a beautiful experience. And then just so incredibly touched by each of you in this community. I carry you with me into my next adventure. I literally start tomorrow, so this is my last day as co-spiritual director, and tomorrow is my first day as executive director for Centers for Spiritual Living. So what a blessing. I am so incredibly blessed, and I'm glad that I get to stay a part of this community when I'm here, and I can come and enjoy this beautiful energy. And, you know, it's special here. This is a special community. I have so many people coming up to me and telling me that when they come, they feel like it's a big hug. I think that's one of the biggest compliments I think anybody could give to a community like this. And then we've got Rev Stephanie, and we've got Kim, and we've got Bonnie, and we've got we've got so many wonderful people to support you in that next revelation of what's coming through. My phone is not connected. I have a quote that I want to read off my phone, so excuse me for having it. But I just thought it was a perfect quote to end with, and because I love quotes, it's appropriate. It's from Michael Meade. To be alive at this time means to be caught in the great unraveling that strands us next and near all the loose threads of creation. But it also means to be close to the revelation of the new design and the next paradigm that's coming through. And it's coming through each one of you. It's coming through all of us. And the center is just going to shine so beautifully bright in its next revelation of what's coming through. And so is my life. And I'm blessed to have you all in my heart as I go. So I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you for the ride.
Love you. So please do join us. Let's go to our closing song, and practitioners, please come forward. These folks are available for a quickie prayer if you would like after service, so come on up.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me give in a holy, holy way. Let me give in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.